Toastmasters and my dear guests out here. I welcome you all to the 293rd meeting of Trailblazers Toastmasters. First of all, I would like to thank you all for joining the 5th birthday celebration of Trailblazers Toastmasters bang on time. So whenever my birthday comes up, all I do is expect gifts from people, and I do make a promise to myself of being a better human being every day. Similarly, Toastmasters has made a promise to itself of fulfilling the mission. A mission of providing a supportive and a positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, thus resulting in greater self-confidence and growth. So in order for the celebration to go smoothly, we have a certain set of rules to be followed. So the rules are, please keep your cell phones away from yourself. It would be better to keep it in switched off mode or in mute. Speakers are kindly requested to refrain from speaking or making any reference to topics such as politics, sex, and religion. Kindly keep yourself on mute whenever the speaker is speaking. And after a speaker is done speaking, kindly applaud by turning off your video just to encourage the speaker to take up more speeches in the coming sessions. And kindly keep yourself on the video mode whenever the speaker is speaking, just to make the speaker feel better that he's interacting with a few set of people rather than merely speaking to a blackboard. So with this, I would like to introduce you all to the host of today's celebration, the presiding officer, who has been a Toastmaster for 4.5 years, a former club officer, former club coach, club mentor, former area director, and who's currently serving in the PQD office of District 92. So please join me in welcoming the presiding officer for today, Toastmaster Narayanan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi, for that very gracious invitation. Thank you. When the invitation was circulated, I was just going through those, a lot of nostalgia around as to the kind of path that you have traveled over these 5 years. 5 years. People who have been with me in this club, unfortunately, few of them have left the organization, few of them are not members currently, but I'm sure we all have the good wishes at this point in time. I would like to take a moment to thank all those people who gave the blood and sweat to start what we are today. It's always more important to stay consistent rather than starting something. Starting something maybe probably happens very easily, but do we have the persistence to stay on the line and keep growing inch by inch, brick by brick? That's the question that we need to ask ourselves every day. And I'm sure we all are moving in the right direction. I had the opportunity to serve this district as a area director, and I've seen some very pompous club inaugurations. Some clubs, they do literally do a 5-star kind of treatment when you start the club. The CEO comes in, the CFO comes in, the entire organization comes to the starting of the club, and slowly, the whole slowly slips away, and the club, no, we have something difficult. We will suspend operations and we'll start next year. But we had a very warm and a very average start. Some 8-9 folks. Even I was not the founder member. I joined after a month the club started on, and I got to know that they did 40 plus sessions even before we got technically started. And the first 8 to 10 months, we did not know how to move. But the club coaches, the club mentors, they were with us. They held our hands. Most importantly, they trusted us. I am here before you, having crossed 4.5 years, because I can maybe a bit arrogantly say that I earned all your trust. I can be absolutely sure on that. Every single member who have been there with me, who have just joined the club today, they said, Daddy, you can do this. Go do it. The kind of support that I've had from you, and I'll be absolutely indebted to you for the rest of my life. And that's how we repay the other members who join our club. For me, this is more of an extended family. The kind of conversation today I have with my team, with my customers, to my boss, to my relative, it's all completely changed in the last 4.5 years. And all that's because of I'm a Toastmaster from Trailblazers organization. And I'll be absolutely proud of that. Until I get to Ashes, I'll call myself a very proud Toastmasters. And I'm sure you all will have a chance one day to hold that flag high and set the breeze waving. Let's revel the celebrations and look forward to much more exciting years coming. This is something which I've told umpteen number of times, and I don't mind telling this again. We are a good club. We just want to be a great club, and we just are inches away from hitting that club. My dad always used to tell me, Narayan, you are a good club. Yeah, but let's not be, okay with that. You need to move higher, and you are just there on the cusp of breaking that stereotype. And this team, a very young, vibrant, powerful team, which is just ready to perform. And I'm sure you will all do that. From being a good club, let's be a great club. I'd like to thank all the members, the officers, past officers for supporting me at this point in time. Without further ado, and I'd like to introduce the right person for today to start off this celebrations today. The spinal cord of our structure, without which the breathing organs cannot function. Personally, the angel on my shoulders. Ladies and gentlemen, waiting number one, Toastmaster for today, Nikitha Salian for you on the tape.
Yay, thank you so much. Thank you for that overwhelming introduction for me, Narayan. It was, I don't know if I'm the spinal cord, but yeah, maybe I'm the Betty number one of this club.
You are.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a Trailblazers Toastmasters session. So tell me who over here has not celebrated their, birthday at least once, like not had a cake cut or had a party or anything. Is there anybody who's never had? No, right? So
yeah, me. Not until I moved to Bangalore. I think I had only one celebration. That was from.
No, but I'm saying in all your years, at least on your first birthday, you would have had a big bang celebration, right?
Hopefully. I think so. I don't remember anything before Bangalore.
Okay, let's assume that. Assume that is a yes. So today we're going to do the same thing. We are going to have a small celebration, and we're going to do something which is going to be a little different than what we normally do in every session. For which first I would request Ashwin and Narayan, who have turned off their video, to turn their video back on. And we are going to have a small, like a game session. There is very limited things that we can do working from home, but this is something that I thought of. So I will call out for a list of things, and I would want you all to get it. So what those things are, I will let you all know in some time. But whoever comes first, I will somehow give them a dairy milk silk. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but let's see. The winner will get a dairy milk silk. Okay. So the game, the first, the treasure hunt, like I would like to call it, the first thing that I want everybody to get, and the first person wearing it and displaying it in front of the camera is the winner. Okay, I'll count that person as a winner. Okay, so y'all can unmute yourself if y'all want, because we would like to hear more noise, and that's what will make it more lively. The first thing that I want you all to get is a mask.
Okay, I'm watching who's cheating and all.
That's not a mask. Hey, Nitin got his. Oh, Gopal also got his too.
Ashwin has the best mask.
You didn't say what mask. I got this first.
I'll bring my Toastmaster mask.
Are you wearing that? Are you wearing that and going to the supermarket?
No, I thought the first thing I thought when you said mask was like a proper mask. I was like, where do we get? And then when I saw Nitin, I was like, oh, this mask.
Ashwin, that's what people used to kidnap. That's not a mask.
Okay. Quickly, next thing. So everybody knows that Trailblazers is how many years old?
5.
Yeah, good, 5. So I want you all to get 5 similar items. Anything. It can be anything. 5 spoons, 5 pens, 5 caps, anything. 5 pencils. Similar. It should all be similar.
I should win this.
5 garbage bags.
5 cards. I got it first.
I have 5 pens.
5 garbage bags.
Narayan has picked up his whole life, baby. Okay, so the last game, in the last round,
Yeah, but
Nitin was the winner, and in this round, Lakshmi was the winner. So
you guys
yay!
beat me again.
Okay, we don't have Shilpa. Sorry, I'm not sure if you are a new joinee or a guest. Can you introduce yourself?
Thank you, Nikitha. I am a new joinee to the Trailblazers Toastmasters Club. I'm yet to give my icebreakers, and I think that will be tomorrow, on the day after tomorrow. And I have been here with around, like, I just joined this month, so it's a great start for me.
Great. Welcome to the club, Shilpa.
Thank you very much.
So we will have your onboarding quite soon, but I would like to put down what our Toastmaster, our Toastmaster structure. So as you know, that Toastmaster was a non-profitable organization that was started sometime back, October 24th, 1915 by Ralph C. Smedley. And the purpose was to improve your leadership skills and communication skills. So this is not how we generally start Toastmasters.
Yeah.
This is a little different. Normally, we have 3 sections in our meeting. One is the prepared speech section. Second one is the impromptu or the table topic section. And the third one is the evaluation section.
Right.
The prepared speech section is open to the members, and every prepared speech will have an objective. Everybody will follow the objective and deliver a speech accordingly. The second one is an impromptu speech. As the name suggests, there would be a table topic master who will give you a speech. You will have a minute or two to speak about the topic that is given, and it tests your skills about, talking when, you're in a situation like when you're just on your toes.
Yeah.
The third one is the evaluation section, which is generally hosted by the general evaluator. Here in this section, we will talk about what was good in the session and what could be improved. And also the speech evaluations will be given out in this section. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So today, I would like to begin the first section of today, that is a prepared speech section. Before that, I would like to call our general evaluator, who would be evaluating and writing down points as to what went good and what went bad. So without wasting much time, I would like to call out a person who is somebody who is pro nature. His main agenda is like, don't use papers, let's reduce paper, let's try to keep soft copies of everything. And it's a good move, and I really appreciate him for that. Somebody who messed up the most iconic dialogue, Karan Arjun as Arjun Karan. So I would like to call upon Arjun of our club, that is Toastmaster Ashwin.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nikitha. I'm glad that you brought up the nature thing, because when you said get 5 items of the same thing, all I could see around me was paper. I was about to tear 5 pages, and then I was like, no, dude, not in this meeting. You will become what you promised not to do. So I was like, okay, yeah. So thank you again for the nice introduction, Toastmaster Nikitha. So as a general evaluator, my job, as Nikitha already mentioned, is to identify what went well in our meeting and what could have been improved in our future meetings. I can't do this alone, and for that I have a team with me, which is called the ETAG team: evaluator, timer, accounter, and grammarian. The evaluators will be called upon before the prepared speeches. So first I would like to call upon our timer for the day, who is Toastmaster Ashwin. Thank you, General Evaluator. As a timer today, as the name suggests, I'll be timing you on your speeches. For table topics, I'll show the Toastmasters app at 1 minute, for which will have a green card, and one yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red card at 2 minutes. So this is how the Toastmasters app will look like. And for the prepared speeches, I'll be showing the green card at 5 minutes, yellow card at 6 minutes, and the red card at 7 minutes. Speakers, prepared, especially the prepared speeches, before you start your speech, it will be great if you can pin the timer. Back to the general evaluator. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashwin. That was a very detailed and comprehensive timer script. Good job. Next on our tag team, we have our accounter, Toastmaster Santosh.
Thank you. So, as an accountant, my job is to get all the award that getting used again and again, and making sentence feels making the sentence to feel bad actually while speaking. So it makes kind of noisy towards in a speech. So I try to track this, and I'll try to get all the fillers that been used by during speaker or any other table speaker, anyone who speaks. I'll try to evaluate this. I will also try to get the count of used so this kind of words I will try to evaluate. Also, sometimes use repetition of words like when. So I will try to count all the details and give my reports at the final evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Santosh. Next on the team, we have a grammarian who's Toastmaster Lakshmi.
Thank you, evaluators. So good evening, all. I'll be your grammarian for today. And as a grammarian, my duty is to take note of good usage and not the good usage of grammar. For example, she likes ice cream. So that is not a preferred usage. Instead, it can be said as she likes ice cream. So I'll be making a note of all these. And the word of the day today is revel, which means celebrate. For example, they spend the evening reveling with their guests. So I encourage you all to use the word of the day in your respective speeches. And whenever any speaker uses the word, request the remaining Toastmasters to just give a thumbs up. And just an FYI for the general evaluator, I might have to leave the meeting at 5:30 since I have another meeting. So I'll be forwarding you the report at around 5:30. So I hope that is fine. Yeah, so over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmasters Lakshmi. So speakers, don't be afraid. Since we are reveling up of birthday today, we'll be very nice to you with our comments. Back to the Toastmaster today. Thank you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So we will begin the first section of today officially, which is the prepared speech section. And the first speaker that I would like to call is a person who is a foodie, a biker, and a backpacker, and also somebody who has to prove that he's working from home by sitting in front of the TV and showing around to his neighbors. Before I call upon that particular Toastmaster, I would like to call his evaluator. Right. Okay. Toastmaster money would be evaluated by Toastmaster Ashwin. Toastmaster Ashwin, can you read out his objective of the speech, please?
Sure, Toastmaster Nikitha. So Toastmaster Money is giving his L1P2 speech today. The purpose of the speech is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. It is for the member to demonstrate that he or she has applied the feedback received from his first speech. If this was Mani's. Mani, is this your first speech or second speech? Sorry.
It's the first speech. I mean, after icebreaker, it's a first.
Okay, thank you. So it is for him to give a speech, receive feedback, and apply the feedback for a speech on the same topic, which he'll be giving later. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashwin. Yes, again, I call upon the biker, the backpacker of our club, Toastmaster Money.
Thanks, Nikita. So, may I know the timer? Sorry, I missed it. Okay. Yeah. So, good evening, everyone, and dear guests. Today, I am going to deliver the speech about Upma effect. It is an effect or effect. I don't know whether to use a verb or I need to use a noun. Why? Because that made a significant change on me for the past 3-4 months. So I really felt happy when this lockdown has happened. I reached home and completely locked down. I was very, very happy so that I was in home at that point. So initial few days, like I'm a guest where everything will be at my reachable. So I don't have to do anything like when I used to be in Bangalore where I need to do some daily home activities, something like that. So there is nothing like that, and I'm really happy with that. So after a few days, you are not a guest anymore. You lost all those privileges. You will be yeah, I will be helping my mom for on few of the stuff, and things are happening. I mean, and initially you will get a good food, like whatever you ask. You are came from Bangalore, oh my son has done so much thing in Bangalore, and everything will be ready. So there are many specials will be happening for you, but afterwards nothing. It's same plain dal roti or something like that, or else sometimes. And because of the South Indian family, we get like most of the time upma, and that's where complaining and whining for me starts to my mom. And I used to get a good earful when I left food. And yeah, that's how it's moving around. Like after like maybe 1.5 month, uh, my mother has fell down, and she broken her hip, and doctor has advised a complete bed rest for the 45 days. And it's a corona, it's a peak time, and we can't hire a maid because my great grandmother lives with us. She is very aged, and we are really bit skeptical to hire any one of them. So myself and my father decided, okay, let's manage it ourselves and see how it goes. And during this phase, I've gone through three major periods. First one is messing up. This I would say, why? Because this comes from the bachelor attitude. Like this bachelor attitude is like, we'll do things at the very last minute. When there is nothing to use, then you start cleaning your utensils. Nothing to wear, then you clean your wash your clothes. And when you really feel hungry, then you start cooking. So but this thing never works in the family environment, and particularly who are in this medication. I was all over the place. Really, I don't know where to start, when to start. I really messed up, and my mother started worrying because of it. How can things managed? Because there are many things to do. I mean, there will be simpler things in terms of household activities, but those make a difference. That is a part of their job daily. So I started really messing up. So I thought like after 2 weeks, it's a complete mess. And I thought, no, it doesn't work like this. I called my aunt. I asked her to stay for a couple of days. I took a real break, as if I done so many things, but I took a break, and then I started listing my activities, like what to do and how to do. I created a simple algorithm so that which can save my time. And this is my first period of messing up. And second is improvement. Here, I mean, my first step on my analysis was to keep my cell phone aside. Once I work, like I'll catch my phone and I go to the all these feeds and all. This easily kills 30 minutes of time. So that is the first step I written in my notes. Like keep the cell phone aside and do the work. So that's how my day used to start. Once I woke, I used to go to my dining area and take the utensils and keep it in the wash area. So and then that's how I created a pattern. Before I start going to brush my teeth or do something else, majority of the things are done. Why? Because we are living in a smart world. We have all those things like washing machines and all. We just need to move our butt and do something. That's it. So that's how I achieved that. So everything was fine. Apart from that, even I figured out like the cooking activities. I can't be a wash chef or something like that. So I asked my aunt to keep some dosa batter or idli batter and send it to me. So I put it in a fridge. And then in this period, the the hated one, upma, which is the most hated breakfast or dinner, that's become my best friend. We think of Maggie and all, which is simpler to cook, but even upma is a very simpler. In this process, I figured it out. Even my mother started, she got much needed rest, but not in a right way. But I helped her to for binge watching or vlogging. So she been used to it. And after some time, when I say what is for dinner, it's upma, mom, and she was in my shoes. Upma, no, do something else. So it's like a doppelganger effect all of a sudden. So that's how we manage. And last one is like effect or the effect. What I say, whether it's a verb or it's a noun, which I really unclear to frame it. in this process, I realized for your mom or whoever is doing it, there is a kind of mini war that goes in the background. Everything needs to be arranged on the table. So that one is the first thing we need to respect. That I learned in this process. And apart from why, because these are many things they do. Maybe this is the reason why they are most of the women are good at multitasking rather than most of the men. So that is the one thing. And yeah, with these are the two things which and also one of later and most important point is the wasting. After spending this much amount of time, no one can waste the food. So that's how it irritates the other people. So these are the three things which I learned, and upma has been the most of the important dish on my menu during this entire period. So with this, I conclude the upma effect or the effect. You can put your conclusion on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Money. I totally can relate to this Upma story of yours because coincidentally, when the lockdown began, I just joined this new company of mine and I was alone in Bangalore and I really couldn't manage work and cooking at the same time. Like I was going crazy. One day, I just when I went to the supermarket, I just spotted this upma, and I don't like upma at all. Like whenever my mom used to make upma, I used to be like, "What upma? Why?" And when I saw the process of making it, it was just boil water and put it, and upma is ready. I was like, "Why didn't I like this before?" So I can totally understand your connectivity to upma, like even that transition to how you went from e to ah, it was very good. So great job over there. Moving on, next we have another speech lined up today. So before I call this Toastmaster who's going to give us a speech, I would like to call the evaluator for his speech. Toastmaster Nitin and Toastmaster Narayan will be evaluating. If one of you all could read out the objectives, it would be great.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikitha. Toastmaster Abhinav is attempting his L5P1 Develop Your Vision project. The purpose of this project is for the member to develop a detailed vision for his or her personal life, professional life, or an organizational life. So Toastmaster Narayanan will evaluate first, and if post that, if I have any other points to add, I'll jump in after that. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Nikitha.
Great. Thank you, Toastmaster Nitin. All right. So next in line, we have somebody who, if I am the spinal cord of this club, he is the club himself. So without him, I don't think we would have reached where we are today. Somebody who is very creative, always bubbling with energy, and somebody who took no time to complete his CC. Like I remember he gave his CC like in a record time, and it was great. Like all his speeches were great. It did not, he did justice to all his speeches. So without further ado, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Abhinav.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikitha. Let me just check everybody has the video on or not. Okay, everybody has the video on. All right. So let me ask you all to close your eyes for a few seconds. Everybody. Now I'll say a few words. I want you to not think about them. All right. Do not think about these words. A red car. A large pizza. Your crush in college. Your first salary check. Okay. Now you may open your eyes. Can you have a round of applause for everybody who participated? Thank you so much. So, were you able to not think about the words which I just said? Nobody's like that, right? If you are able to do that, then you have gained nirvana and you don't need anything else from anybody. Everybody else here, congratulations, you are normal. Well, our brain is a wonderful, squishy, gray pink thing. It can do a lot of things. It can do great things. Also, it can make you do really, really stupid things. It can help you overcome pain. but it can also give you a lot of pain. It can generate ideas, and sometimes it can have a straight blockage of ideas as well. Am I right? You all with me? Thank you. Since we know that our brain can do so many things, it can also go wayward at times. I have heard not millions, but large number of speeches in Toastmasters self about procrastination. Like you have ideas, but you're not able to do that on time. You think I'll do it little later. And when you're writing down your speech itself, that time you have so many ideas, you're not able to concentrate on one topic, what to speak on. I guess everybody has faced this issue, right? It's like same way I gave you some words. I told you not to think about those words, but you still thought about them. So your brain derails and goes in multiple directions. This is what I called the monkey brain or the monkey mind. So I am also in the same boat. I'm no different. There are some days I cannot concentrate at all. I want to be creative. I want to be productive. But what happens is that because of the overflow of ideas in my mind, I can't concentrate myself. I can do this. I can write this speech. I can do this thing in my life. I can do that thing in my life. I can plan this way. I can plan that way. There's so many ideas roaming around here and there again and again. Sometimes I just want to do nothing. I want to Netflix and chill as well. I want to watch my favorite shows. But again, then I realize I have so many things pending in my life I need to do. So do you think there's any problem with that? I think there's a problem. When we have so many ideas and we can't think of one idea, it leads to ourselves procrastinating as well as not doing anything. Like there's a saying called, without a goal, we can't score. To have a goal is to again pinpoint the ideas to one point. But again, there's so many distractions. While writing my speech, there was something outside my building. Like there was a sound of a hammer, thun, thun, thun going around. So it distracted my mind again. I couldn't concentrate at all. And with this lockdown happening, the distraction happening again and again, again and again, again and again. So like a monkey, my brain is going from one direction to another direction, from one branch to another branch. So how to fix this monkey brain and how to eventually succeed in life? Through this speech, I have to make some plans and vision for myself. Now, again, getting a vision, one vision, is pretty difficult. The object of the speech says, plan a vision for your professional life or your personal life. Initially, I thought I'll write about my area director tenure, but that has passed 3 months already. So no, again, my brain wandered. So I realized we can succeed in our life only when we can organize our thoughts at a proper place. I'm really thankful that Mani gave his speech before me, and what he did to overcome this waywardness in his mind, to write down. That is, to organize. So the vision for myself is that whatever goal I choose in my life, first and foremost, I had to organize my thoughts first. I had to sit down and start to organize. Now, how to organize? There are so many ways to do it. But the easiest way and the most important way is to sit down, write what you want to do. Write. Writing is one thing which can clear all your doubts together. No matter how much distraction you have, once you write them down, then you have a plan. You can think about it. Now, in today's life, we have so many tools to help us with that. To be creative, to be productive, to do anything in your life, you have to organize your thoughts. So in my next speech, that is a sequel to the speech, I'll tell you what I eventually did to organize anything. To do any, in Toastmaster, we learn about events. To do any event also, we have to first sit down, jot down our objectives of the points. To write a speech, we have to sit down. To do an office meeting, sprint meeting, we have to sit down and write some things. So my first and foremost vision is to organize myself, write down things, and organize my thoughts. I can make grand plans for myself, but none of them will succeed unless I have organized it well. So if you also are in the same boat, I'll suggest you to sit down, take some time out, organize your thoughts, and let your monkey mind be at ease. And that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhinav. That was very deep and lots to take back. So this is one reason I really like attending Toastmasters meeting, that we have so much to take back. Like, it makes our day light listening to Mani's story and listening to what Abhinav had to give. It makes our day light, and we have so much to think and take back from. So thank you. Thank you for the great speeches, Mani and Abhinav. With that, we end the prepared speech section. And before moving on to the table topic section or the impromptu section, I have a small trivia. This is not a running around game. So you see the chat box, right? I want everybody to answer me privately. I have two questions. In the interest of time, I'm just keeping it very short. So first question is, who was the first president of the club? Type it to me privately.
Not sure everybody will know that. Let's see. I'm staying away from that. Okay, Nikitha?
That's fine. No problem.
I'm staying away from that. That's okay. Let's out of syllabus.
Okay. If anybody wants to answer. Okay. So there's only one person who got it right. And the person who got it right is Toastmaster Abhinav. And the first president of our club was Toastmaster Abhishek Neela.
I thought so. Abhinav will bag it. I know that.
Yeah, okay. So Abhinav is the winner of this round. It's becoming very difficult. I need one of the three, Nitin, Lakshmi, or Abhinav to answer the next question, so that very quickly, so that, we have one winner of this game. Although having said that, I have two more. So others, if you get the next two right, you still have a chance of winning this game. Okay. Okay. The next question is, so we all know that Toastmaster Abhinav was one of the area director. But who was the other area director of the club? This is easy peasy.
That was a typo, but
that's okay. It's spelling mistakes, fine. Okay, everybody answered. Does anybody want to answer it? Okay, the first answer I got was from Lakshmi, and it was just in like seconds, like hardly microseconds. Everybody like. So Lakshmi's got two right, Abhinav's got one, Nitin has also got one, but all the other people who have answered is Ashwin, Nitin, Shilpa, Abhinav, obviously, yeah. So everybody got it right, so great. Okay, so that ends our trivia. Let's move on to the next section for today. That is the table topic section, and I would not waste much time because we are running short on time. So I would like to call upon somebody who's the one-man stand-up comedian of our club, a person who goes to all the other clubs, makes people laugh and make us all proud, wearing multiple feathers on his hats, Toastmaster Nitin.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nikitha. For today's table topic, we will do something different today. Today, I want all of you to envision yourself as an author. We at Toastmasters, we write speeches. So we are authors of our own speech. Unless you copy, which you shouldn't do, but let's not go over there. We all are authors in one way or the other. And for this next 15 minutes or so, I want you to imagine yourself as an author. Now, in the table topic section, I will just give you the name of a book. Now, that name can be of a real book. It can be an imaginary book. I want you as a speaker to tell us why we should read this book. So I'll give you a name of the book. You have authored that book. You are in a book shop, you're in a book sale, and you have to tell us why we should read the book that is written by you. Yeah, everybody clear with the rules? Can I see a thumbs up from everyone? All right, perfect. Who wants to go first? Nikitha. Okay. Nikitha, the name of your book that you have authored is Half Asleep in Frog Pajamas.
Can you type it?
I'll type it.
Yeah.
Half asleep in frog pajamas. Pajamas. Yeah.
Okay. Half asleep in frog pajamas. Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'm not sure, but if all of y'all are going through the same thing, but how many of us raise your hands if you agree with me? How many of us has felt that working from home has increased our workload? Increased our workload? Yeah. For a minute, I thought like everybody's workload was balanced, and I'm like, what? Where did I do a mistake leaving Oracle? Yes. So I'm in the same state too. Okay, I wake up in the morning, and once I have my breakfast, I sit in front of the laptop like this, and till 11 o'clock, I am like this only. So the consequence of this is, one day, 2 day was fine, but when it started getting stretched across so many days, it became very difficult for me. Like, I started losing on energy, and I became the person. I became a very, less energetic and low enthusiastic person, always in this pajama, half sleepy. So this book, which I have read, which I've written, and Nitin has suggested, is a book which will teach you how to deal with, work from home stress. It will give you gyan about what to do, how to balance your life, how you should prioritize things, what you should deprioritize, and what timetable you should follow. There's a small little mantra about it, which if you read, you will come to the same state as I am today. I'm a very happy person because I can do my work. I can manage my work at home, as in the household chore, and I can attend Toastmasters. So all thanks to this book. So I recommend that everybody reads this book because it is a must read for this season. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nikitha. Moving on, any other speaker who can volunteer? All right, Abhinav. Abhinav, the name of your book is The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. I repeat, The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. Over to you.
Since my wife is not at home right now, I can speak anything. Nobody will say anything to me. Okay, the title itself says a lot of things. The man who was so careless that it's got recorded, somebody saying. It doesn't matter, my wife will not see this. She now hates Toastmasters. Because I spent so much time here. Okay. So the man who was so careless that he mistook his wife for a hat. If it was his pants, he will not miss it. He will go out because pants will always be on. But hat he can miss. He became so careless. And what happens after that? The repercussion of ignoring your wife can lead to drastic and disastrous results. So that's my memoir. Whenever I went out and forgot about my wife, then I have to bear some repercussions. And no matter how forgiving your wife is, but wife will always remember. So if you mistook her for anything, not even head or whatever, if you do any mistake, it will be remembered and you have to pay back after some time. So please read this book. If you're married, you can take some lessons from it. If you're not married, you can take a lot more lessons into it and be ready before you get married at all. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhinav. Coming from a man of experience, we can say that he has almost made mistook his wife once for a hat. Moving on, do we have another speaker, another volunteer who wants to give it a try? All right, perfect. Sai, the book that you have to sell is
Give some easy book, okay?
Okay, let's see.
Hmm.
Okay. How to disappear completely and never be found. I repeat, how to disappear completely and never be found.
How to disappear completely and never be found. Okay. To disappear completely and never be found. Be found. Oh, okay. Considering me myself as an author for this particular book, How to Disappear Completely and Never Be Found. In this book, I have described about my situation, a kind of interview when I was facing an interview, and that was related to a topic which I didn't know, that too in my college days. So at that particular time, I was in for example, in a pool of candidates who were ready to attend for that particular interview. And then I came to know what else the previous candidates are asking the questions. At that point of time, I was totally blank because I didn't know what exactly the questions HR or particular technical guys are asking. So at that point of time, I made it somehow disappeared from that situation and never attended that interview. So, and I have described about that in that particular book. So all this such kind of incidents, not only this, apart from that, where exactly, yeah, in one of the performance where my heart was throbbing because I was unable to sing in that performance. So I have disappeared completely out of that function hall and then came out. So how to disappear completely and never be found. I have written all these stories in that particular book. So it's better you can start reading and share your stories.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sai. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever your boss messages you on Slack, this is the book that you would like to read. All right, we'll take one final table topic. Do we have anyone who wants to go forward? Okay, we have two people, so we'll go with two table topics if time permits. Toastmaster Gopal, we'll start with you. Your table topic is how to teach physics to your dog. I repeat, how to teach physics to your dog.
Okay. Okay. So I have never had an opportunity to have a dog as a pet, but I really like playing with dogs, like especially at all my friends' places. And often I try to do something in order to seek the dog's attention by doing some thing with some specific objects like a ball and things like that. So I try to wave that here and there and try to grab the pet's attention. So like on the context, I've done certain weird things, as in trying to throw an object like in between the fan blades and try to do some weird things. And every time I did that, I was very much amazed to find that irrespective of whatever you do, the dog was able to spot the objects here and there. So if at all you have a pet in your house and you would like to train them, this book is definitely for you. So please go ahead and read it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Gopal. It's like you can make your own sci-fi next gen Star Wars by teaching your dog how to do physics. All right, now with the last table topic, and Toastmaster Ashwin, this is for you. The name of the book that you have to sell is Lady, That's My Skull. I repeat, Lady, That's My Skull. So what do you, Toastmaster Ashwin?
In this corona, if I'm coming here to sell this book with this code, you guys should know how important that book is. Not just for you, for me to earn my bread and butter. Lady, that's my skull. What is described in this book is first 10 pages will tell you what and all we don't have to do in life, things that are not necessary at all. The next 10 pages are completely empty. These pages are for you to fill those things that you have done in life, which you think you should not have done at all. Wondering, right, where this skull came from? I'll tell you. After that, again, I've written the rest of the book, which explains no matter what we have done, we don't have to worry about it because past is past. You can't change it. But then why did I ask you to write it down? Because while writing it down, you'll think about it. You'll laugh about it. You'll tell yourself that, oh, I did this. But does it matter now? No, it doesn't matter to me. End of the day, when we all die, they'll bury us, they'll put us on they'll cremate us, whatever. Only thing that will remain is the skull. And that skull won't take anything from this earth. It'll be happy on its own without taking anything. So don't worry, chill, have a chill life, enjoy as much as you can. Buy the book, write it down. It's only 1 rupee. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashwin. I really wanted to see if you all could give a price to the book so that we are tempted to buy it. And only a Toastmaster Ashwin did it. I'll give you 1
rupee.
If let's say I get a dairy milk, I'll give you one small piece out of that. But thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This was the end of the table topic section. I'll hand it back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Nikitha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nitin. That was a very fun table topic section. I really liked the point where you pointed about the price. Nobody thought about the price except for Toastmaster Ashwin, which is a great thing. All right. So next, let's move on to the last part of today's session, which is the general evaluation section. And there is somebody who has won possibly done all the roles today. So I would like to call him back up on the stage. Toastmaster Ashwin, please present your general evaluation report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nikitha. So I'll start by wishing all of us a very happy birthday again. Today's Sergeant at Arms was Toastmaster Lakshmi. She welcomed and thanked everyone. And most importantly, she spoke about birthdays and linked that birthday celebration to the mission of Toastmasters and then read the rules. I felt it very interesting because she didn't directly say, these are the rules, this is the mission. She started very creatively. So that was very good. She introduced the presiding officer, and no other perfect person to preside today's officer than Toastmaster Narayanan or Toastmaster Abhinav, who would know from where we started and who can explain and who can bring back our memories. Like if it was myself, or I'm taking Nitin's name as well here, we would have been like, okay, what do we tell about the first 4 years? So very aptly done in choosing Toastmaster Narayanan as the presiding officer for today's meeting. Again, he spoke about the 5th anniversary, he spoke about where we started, and it was a very inspiring and an insightful presidential address. He spoke about a lot of clubs, which even I have noticed start with a huge bang. They do things, I'm not saying they overdo things, but they do things too much that after a time they set expectations, and when they fade out, people talk, they'll be like, oh, they started very well and now they're not seen anywhere. I'm glad that we are not such a club. We are doing good, like Toastmaster Narayanan said, and someday we'll definitely do great. Toastmaster of the day, Nikitha, great introduction. Just that I just didn't like the fact that you didn't accept the general evaluator's mask as a mask, but apart from that, a very good game. Everybody got involved in the game. It's not like people didn't run around, everybody ran around. And the best thing I liked about the TMOD today is that when she noticed Shilpa had gotten something, she realized that this is a new person. And without, again, like what Lakshmi did, without using a separate section to introduce the new Toastmaster member and introduce the Toastmaster session in general, she used Shilpa's name, and then she said, for Shilpa, I'll tell you what a general Toastmaster session is all about. That was very, very nicely done. And then we had 2 prepared speeches. So for the first prepared speech, I'll call up on the evaluator, who's Toastmaster Ashwin. So Toastmaster Ashwin, who was a timer, did not mention that the evaluation is for 2 to 3 minutes. So please note that as well. Mani, very nice speech. I'm sure if I ask how many of you don't like Upma, I'm sure a lot of hands will be there. But how many of you like Upma is the question. Mani will definitely raise his hand now because now he likes Upma. And then we have Toastmaster Narayanan sir and Abhinav. A very nice topic, a very humorous topic. But what you could have, the start was very good with the topic from the topic's perspective. But like everybody gives out as a feedback, the best thing to do, start a speech, is to engage the audience, because if you don't engage them initially, then they might lose interest in what you're talking. So you could have asked the same question, like how many of you like Upma, or you could have done something where you involve the audience a little more. But that was fine. I mean, it's not a hard and fast rule. And you spoke about a lot of things that you did, which was from your personal experience, so which indicated that it was a very honest speech. It was not something that was made up. So you felt more comfortable speaking about the topic. And it was structured very well. You introduced what your confusion was, and then you spoke about your instances that led to that whole situation of Upma coming into the picture. And then you ended up with the third point. But after you ended up the third point, what you could have done was you could have summarized all of these that you started with, because your speech had a very good moral of the story. Like you could have told a very fitting lesson in the end, especially for a lot of people who are staying alone and struggling during this lockdown. So you could have summed all of that, and you said you have 3 important things to say. You could have summed up all the 3 important things, and you could have ended it with a bang. But I felt it was a little more flat, maybe because you saw the time and you wanted to cut it short. And one more thing was, I felt this part was very stiff. I thought that this part was very stiff, and you were smiling when there was humor, but otherwise you had a very straight face and a very stiff body. You could be a little more engaging. Only this part was moving and this part was moving. Like there was no flow overall. But overall, for an L1 speech, this is a very good speech. You did pretty well. So kudos on that, and all the best for your next speeches as well. Thank you, Toastmaster Mani. Thank you, Toastmaster Ashwin. I do not have anything to add on top of that. I think you have covered everything. So next we had Toastmaster Abhinav, who gave his L5P1. So to evaluate Toastmaster Abhinav, I would first like to welcome Toastmaster Narayanan, and then after Toastmaster Narayanan is done, you can directly hand it over to Toastmaster Nitin. I am guessing the total time for evaluation together is going to be 3 minutes. Is that right? Yes. So thank you. Back to Toastmaster Narayanan for the first round of evaluation.
Thank you, General Evaluator Ashwin. Toastmaster Abhinav, my comrade in blood and sweat, absolute honor always to hear your speech. Needless to say, I think you got all the monkeys from the trees. You got us thinking about the first salary check, the red car, mine would be an Audi. But you really got our neurons ticking when you kickstarted your speech. Now, a good speaker knows when to start, how to start, but a great speaker knows how to captivate the audience and make them sit and make listen to you. I'm sure you are on the cusp of becoming a great speaker from a good speaker. You detailed on the brain, the way in which your brain, I think that was very neatly put it in very simple terms. I love that. And the way you describe procrastination, the distraction point, I really enjoyed it. Now, the only area where you left me probably thinking was, I probably thought the opening, the kind of opening that you gave for detailing on what our vision is and what happens if there is no vision was probably slightly longer. So we really couldn't get to the conclusion of it. Though you have a sequel for it, the body and the conclusion probably was a bit tight choked, is what I would say. But I'm looking forward to hear your sequel on this. Good luck and way to go, Abhinav. Over to you, Nitin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Narayanan. I will agree with what Narayanan sir said. I think The setup was too long to come to the main point. And by the end of your speech, I was wanting for more. And I know as an audience, if you want for more, it's a good sign, but it was just in the terms of, I feel I didn't get enough details that I was expecting from your speech. Apart from that, I think if you can have a little bit of more voice modulation to show your excitement, or when you're feeling low because of the fact that you're not able to achieve as much as you want to, if you can add those, I think it will be a perfect package for your speech. But overall, I think it was a very good attempt. Just that the structure needs to be worked on a little bit. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster Ashwin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nitin and Toastmaster Narayanan, sir. Toastmaster Abhinav, I do not have much to add from my end. Like we both said, it was a very good speech, and we are looking forward for the sequel as well. So next, we had the table topics section. So another interesting, I'm sure everybody knows that when Nitin is on stage, you can expect a very different table topic section. So very well done, Nitin. It was very well done. And what you could have done, I don't know if it was in the interest of time, but what I normally see you do is that between every speaker, you add a lot more. So today that was a bit less. I think it is in the interest of time. So I'm giving you the benefit of doubt because of the current Arjun relationship here. But overall, it was a very good session. And coming to my tag team timer, like I said earlier, you missed showing the reading about the evaluation timing. It's okay. And Lakshmi, who's not our counter, Santosh, can you please present your report?
Yeah, so today it was quite fine. I can figure out money. He is using a lot of fillers. Actually, he is using around 1 to 3, 4, 5, around 15 plus. Then around 2 times. Then is around 3 times. So I think maybe he can reduce in the future. Additionally, I don't think Abhinav, I don't think it is there is any fillers. Hardly I find 1 or 2, which is okay. And Nikitha, I can found few around I think 10 overall, and 2, 3 times. Then Sai, she is using I think 3 times. Then Ashwin, I think it is around 5 or 6 times. Then Narayanan sir, I think it is 4 times. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Santosh. Since Toastmaster Lakshmi is not here, she sent me the report. So the word of the day was used once by Toastmaster Narayanan sir and once by Toastmaster Ashwin. Some great usage was spinal cord of a club. If I am a spinal cord, then he is the club himself. So first one was by Toastmaster Narayanan sir, second was by Toastmaster Nikitha, and then few good uses in Abhinav's speech. Brain can overcome pain, and it can give us a lot of pain too. Brain derails and goes in multiple directions. Without a goal, we cannot score. And one in money speech was Doppler effect. Few things that we can improve was people had mentioned it as initial few days I am a guest. It should have been initial few days I was a guest. Anything you're talking about the past, use past tense. I doesn't know, it is ideally I don't know. How can things manage? Things can't manage on their own. We have to manage them. So it's how can things be managed? Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi. Timer of the day has pinged me that I've not called him for his report. So yeah, timer, can you please present your report? Thank you, General Evaluator. I thought you were going to only point out at my mistakes, but we don't have any disqualifications today. All the speakers are well within the time limit. Thank you, General Evaluator. With that, I would like to thank my tag team and everyone for listening to the General Evaluator and the team. Hope all of you had a reveling session. Back to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Nikitha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashwin. Okay, before we go to vote, the voting link is on the chat box. I have one final question, and this is the last question of today. So I want everybody to put it on the chat window. You can
everyone go and vote. I'll listen to the question and I'll wait for you.
Yeah. Okay. So the question is, what is the tagline of Trailblazers?
Toastmasters Club. Blaze the trail.
Okay, so the answer is, anybody more answering? Anybody more? Anybody? Okay, anyways, I've got the answer. The first answer I got was from Toastmaster Ashwin, and the answer is blaze the trail. So let's keep blazing the trail. The winner of today's small tiny game that I have organized is Toastmaster Lakshmi. Toastmaster Lakshmi, I am really happy you are the winner because it's easy for me to actually send her a chocolate. So I will do that today itself.
Oh, she sent her report to me. You can send the chocolate also to me. I'll send it to her.
Sure. Okay, thank you everybody for being a fabulous audience. I shall also go and vote. The voting link is up. Please cast your vote. Do we have the results?
I'm waiting on one or two more to come in.
Okay.
Okay, we have 9. We have 9. Okay, yeah, the results are ready. Should I put it to you in chat?
Yes.
Give me 1 minute.
Okay. So the winner of the prepared speech is Toastmaster Abhinav. The best evaluator for today is Toastmaster Nitin and Toastmaster Narayanan. And the best table topic speaker for today is somebody who I already have a meme in my mind. I really want to draw it like the person who has multiple hands, like who had taken all the possible roles. Today, Toastmaster Ashwin. All right. Thank you for being such a wonderful audience. If we don't have any announcement, I can close the session. Okay, so after I close the session, let's wait for a minute for Nitin to take the picture. But officially, I'm closing the session for today. Thank you, everybody.